Guilds played a pivotal role in shaping social structures during the Middle Ages, significantly impacting class divisions, wealth distribution, and the emergence of a powerful middle class. These associations of artisans and merchants were more than just economic entities. They were influential social institutions that fostered community, regulated economic activity, and wielded considerable political power. Guilds began to form in the early Middle Ages as a response to the growing complexity of trade and craftsmanship. Initially, they served as mutual aid societies, providing support to their members in times of illness, death, or economic hardship. Over time, guilds evolved into highly organized entities with strict membership rules, codes of conduct, and regulatory authority over their respective trades. Guilds were typically divided into two main categories: merchant guilds and craft guilds. Merchant guilds controlled the trade of goods, while craft guilds regulated the production of specific items such as textiles, metalwork, and ceramics. Each guild maintained rigorous standards for quality, set prices, and controlled entry into the profession through apprenticeship systems. Guilds had a profound effect on the social stratification of medieval society. By establishing exclusive control over trade and production, guilds created a distinct social class of skilled artisans and merchants. This new class occupied a unique position between the feudal lords and the peasantry, contributing to the erosion of the rigid feudal hierarchy. Within the guilds themselves, a hierarchy existed, typically comprising apprentices, journeymen, and masters. Apprentices were young trainees learning the trade under the supervision of a master. After several years, apprentices could become journeymen, who were skilled workers but not yet guild members. To achieve master status, a journeyman had to produce a masterpiece and be accepted by the guild. This system allowed for social mobility, as diligent and talented individuals could rise from apprentice to master, gaining wealth and status in the process. The consolidation of power and wealth within the guilds led to the rise of a burgeoning middle class. This middle class comprised skilled tradespeople, merchants, and their families, who enjoyed a standard of living significantly higher than that of peasants. The economic power of guild members allowed them to exert considerable influence over local politics and society, further cementing their status. Guilds played a crucial role in redistributing wealth within medieval society. By regulating prices, wages, and the quality of goods, guilds ensured that their members could earn a stable and often substantial income. This regulation prevented monopolies and protected consumers from exorbitant prices, fostering a more equitable economic environment. Guilds contributed to economic stability by creating a predictable market environment. Their regulations helped stabilize prices and wages, which in turn encouraged investment and innovation. The wealth generated by guild members not only improved their own standard of living, but also stimulated local economies through increased demand for goods and services. Many guilds engaged in philanthropic activities, using their wealth to support community projects, build infrastructure, and provide for the needy. Guilds often funded the construction of churches, schools, and hospitals, enhancing the overall quality of life in medieval towns and cities. These charitable activities helped mitigate some of the harsher aspects of medieval poverty and fostered a sense of communal responsibility among guild members. Guilds were not only economic and social entities, but also political forces. Their economic power translated into political influence, allowing guilds to play a significant role in local governance and policy making. In many medieval towns and cities, guilds held substantial political power. They often controlled municipal governments, with guild leaders serving as mayors, council members, and magistrates. This control enabled guilds to shape policies that favored their interests and protected their economic dominance. The rise of guilds coincided with the growth of towns and cities, where trade and craftsmanship flourished. As urban centers grew, so did the power and influence of the guilds. Guilds were instrumental in the development of urban infrastructure, including roads, marketplaces, and public buildings. Their contributions to urban development reinforced their status and power within the social hierarchy. Guilds also maintained complex relationships with the monarchy. Kings and queens often relied on guilds for financial support, borrowing money, or receiving gifts in exchange for granting charters and privileges. These relationships further enhanced the political influence of guilds, allowing them to negotiate favorable terms and protections. Beyond their economic and political impact, guilds also played a significant role in shaping the cultural life of medieval society. They were centers of social interaction, education, and artistic expression. Guilds were responsible for training the next generation of craftsmen and merchants. The apprenticeship system ensured that skills and knowledge were passed down through generations, preserving and enhancing the quality of craftsmanship. Guilds also established schools and sponsored educational programs, contributing to the intellectual growth of their members and the broader community. Many guilds were patrons of the arts, commissioning works of art, literature, and music. This patronage supported artists and artisans, fostering a vibrant cultural scene in medieval towns and cities. Guilds often sponsored public festivals, religious celebrations, and theatrical performances, enriching the cultural life of their communities. Guilds often had religious affiliations, with many dedicated to a patron saint. They participated in religious processions, funded the construction of churches and altars, and supported clergy members. These activities reinforced the social cohesion of guild members and their integration into the broader fabric of medieval society. The influence of guilds began to wane in the late Middle Ages with the rise of centralized nation-states, increased trade, and the advent of new economic theories. However, their legacy persisted in various forms, influencing modern labor unions, trade associations, and professional organizations. The decline of guilds was partly due to the emergence of more flexible economic structures, such as joint stock companies and the capitalist market system. These new forms of economic organization allowed for greater innovation and efficiency, eventually supplanting the rigid structures of the guilds. Despite their decline, the principles and practices established by guilds had a lasting impact on economic and social institutions. Modern labor unions, for example, draw on the guild tradition of collective bargaining and mutual support. Similarly, professional associations continue the guild practice of setting standards and regulating entry into professions. Guilds were instrumental in shaping the social, economic, and political landscapes of the Middle Ages by regulating trade, fostering economic stability, and providing social support. They contributed to the emergence of a powerful middle class and a more equitable distribution of wealth. Their influence extended beyond the economic sphere, impacting politics, culture, and community life. Although the prominence of guilds declined with the advent of modern economic systems, their legacy endures in contemporary labor and professional organizations, reflecting their lasting impact on society.